G'day everyone, welcome to Xrissart. I'm Chrissy, thanks for joining me, and in this demonstration I'll be painting with pastels on paper. The art supplies I'm using are PanPastels and Pastel Pencils. The surface I'm painting on is Pastelmat. This is 360 GSM, it's acid free, and this sheet that I'm painting on is 30 by 40 centimetres. Also comes in large sheets and boards, and I've painted on boards before, and I can probably put a few pop-up cards so you can have a look at those particular surfaces. This would have to be one of the best papers I've ever worked on with Pastelmat. I know I keep on saying it, and I must sound like a broken record, but it's absolutely fantastic to work on. It takes endless layers. Very forgiving, and yeah, just fantastic. I'm also using masking film, which is now my newfound love, art supply, and it makes my job so much easier. This painting is part of my Element Collection playing deck of cards, which I'm slowly building, and I'll talk a little bit about that later on. So this gentleman, or should I say warrior, is the Fire King of Spades. So what I've done here, once I've drawn my drawing, I then apply masking film. Now, as you can see, I'm using a very sharp blade to cut around edges and where I want to protect my areas. This masking film is called Mask It by Xrissart, and I'll put all the art supplies I use in the description box below. By using this Mask It, or this masking film, I'm able to cover my background with PanPastels without worrying about halos or being careful of my edges, and it is just a dream to work with. It's a low tack and it's very easy to lift off. In fact, you have to be a little bit careful, but I found that I had no problem in using it. But what I might do is also put a pop-up card of how you apply masking film on Pastelmat, and I'll show you where I show you a very quick demonstration on how to use that. So I just go through and use my PanPastels and my Pastel Pencils for minor details. I am generally doing you could say, it's all very rough at this stage, and then what happens is I keep on adding details, and I keep on adding until I'm happy with what, happy with what I have in my mind as to how I want this to look in the end. So, and of course I'm using some brushes to apply PanPastels. In particular, these are makeup brushes. I also use Sofft Tools by PanPastel. I've found that using these brushes helps me to work a little bit more slowly and more carefully, and I find that I'm able to get more detail. And with PanPastels like the Sofft Tools, I mean, they've got the little applicators and stuff like that, and you could use that, that's fine, but I've discovered this and it's working really well for me. So, and I can put a few pop-up cards of how I talk about my brushes as well, particularly my live streams, I think. So I might put a few pop-up cards so you can see how I use those. So just using PanPastels and my Pastel Pencils continually. Always checking my reference to make sure that I'm getting close enough. It's not exact, I don't have to be exact, but trying to get as close as I possibly can. And skin tones, that's something that that we all struggle with, and trying to get our values right, so I'm always looking at that. I just wanted to also mention the idea behind my playing card deck. When I first thought about this, I thought, what would be a good way for me to sell my artwork at an affordable price and to get me to finish artwork? And I thought about, well, what about if I do something like a playing deck of cards? And I thought, well, then I started to think about themes and ideas and that sort of thing. So I thought, yep, this will be a good way to do that. And I thought, well, a good way to also make sure that I'm completing paintings is to get it to a size where I could, you know, turn them over in a reasonable amount of time. So this is pretty much the idea, that I could sell my artwork at an affordable price. I mean, how much does an unusual deck of cards go for? You know, $20, you know, Australian, maybe dollars. I'm not quite sure what other parts of the world, in America, Europe. So this was the idea. So I just thought I'd mention that, because sometimes, you know, you hear me talking about, you know, my deck of cards. So I just thought I'd just talk about that, and later on this year, hopefully I'll be finishing the whole deck, which means like the back of the cards and some artwork and packaging. So, you know, if you stick around, you might be able to see the end of this project. So I just thought I'd just mention that. And sometimes you see me, there's like a little vacuum cleaner there as well, like it pops out or pops in there every now and again. Instead of blowing my pastel, I use my vacuum cleaner. Now, sure, you know, sometimes like the vacuum cleaner might blow out a few, some air and pastel dust, but I don't know which one is better or worse, blowing it or sucking it up with the vacuum cleaner. I'd really like to hear what other people are doing with this situation. And plus, you know, with PanPastels, I hardly ever get pastel dust. The only reason why you see pastel dust is because I'm using a brush. So, but if I was using a sponge applicator, you would get little or no pastel dust. Well, thanks for watching. If this is the first time you've viewed my videos and you wanted to see more of my videos, please subscribe, share, and don't forget to hit that notification bell icon. That way you get to get notifications of when I upload my videos. But until the next time, bye for now.